Alright guys, welcome back, and we are working on the YJ again. We had gotten our head back a long time ago, but we just been so busy with everything else, we haven't had time to actually get this thing back together. So, one thing I hate about doing jobs like this is when I've taken something apart and then it's decent amount of time has passed by and now it's time to put it back together. Nice thing is, though, we do have another YJ for a replica as far as we need to look at something because we don't know how it goes, but it should be pretty easy once we get into it. We got to clean out the water jackets and stuff like that, so we're going to get at it. Alright guys, so you can see we got it all cleaned up now for our new head gasket, and there's still a little crud in here, but we're going to just run water the first time anyways and try to cycle out a lot of the miscellaneous debris. Same thing with the oil change too, since we got some stuff down in there a little bit. Just as far as just like a little brake clean. We're going to do a couple oil changes probably on it just to be safe. And then here's our head that's been reworked and resurfaced. So hopefully this thing runs pretty good. But next, I actually have to open up my gasket kit and maybe even clean that up just a smudge, so then we can get that all ready to go. Alright guys, so I know you can hear the race in the background a little bit, and for some reason I like doing sketchy things. And then we're going to want to come over here like that. And I think we need to go just a smudge lower. So here's what we gotta go on that guy right there. And then we gotta go in this back one. And we're in. Now the only thing will be making sure we're on this head gasket good. I know that's not it, but we are getting dang close. That is really nice right there. Pretty close. Alright guys, that looks like the best angle I can get you right now. But, so we lowered our head in there like that, and actually we ended up re-picking it up after we got the manifold slid on. And all we did was put a hook on this bolt here, this bolt back there. So it actually balances the weight a lot better, and it's actually moving around real nice. And we can actually move the gasket, so we should be able to get some of our bolts in now. The only thing is get a little wiggle there. That's good. I'll look at see what type of pattern we're supposed to tighten these at. But usually, I believe it's a clockwise motion, and you start from the center of the head and you work your way out. What? Alright, I believe the longer ones go on the outside actually. Alright, those feel like they're threaded in. Our gasket doesn't look bad. So I do know that this one here goes in the front, just like that, because don't know what the purpose of doing 4 of them here, but your rail, as far as using these here, do go on your outside of your valve cover, because your fuel rail will sit on 2 of these. I don't know why they did 4, but they did. The little guy here would be the good option, but I don't know if we're catching just a little bit on that gasket, or these threads aren't the friendliest. But then again, we are just reusing the bolts, which is also kind of a no-no. Got our torque wrench, which we paid like 13 bucks for this one here, and it goes up to 150, it's foot-pounds, and I love these ones actually because they're really easy to do it on the fly. So actually, we're probably gonna do like a snugged, say 30 or 40 or something like that, and then we'll come back and then we'll do it again. Holy cow. I feel like putting 100 foot-pounds on these are a little. You really get at it. Hey, get in there, guy. There we go. So you guys kind of see how much force we're doing here. Get a general idea at least as far as the length of your bar and a torque wrench. If you're wondering if it's necessary to go in a certain pattern, but if you were to do that from one side of the head and then go the other way, usually what they'll say is you risk actually cracking your head, just because the way you're pinching it and all that. So yeah. All right. Grand finale here. We're going for the full 100. That's 100. Probably another reason they say not to reuse your bolts, just because these have probably been subject to so much heat, and you're putting this type of pressure back on them, you take the risk of maybe snapping. Alright, that's 100. So don't think I'm not a little nervous right now. Man, I feel like that thing barely goes up past 100. It says 150, but it's not budging much past. There we go. Alright guys, so we ended up getting this all tightened up really good, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our rocker arms in and make sure we get that tightened down correctly. So for these here, they say 19 foot-pounds of torque. So we're going to do that, and there's no, as far as, it doesn't matter if you do front, back, whatever you do. We got our new water pump here set up, and we got our old, this is the gasket it came with, but we got some Felpro. We'll see if that gasket looks better than this one here. Then we'll get that bolted on, and then we'll probably do our thermostat next. Alright guys, so you can see we're about ready to get our pump on, and then I remembered about this guy right here, and it was actually stuck on our old pump, and made in Canada. How about that, boys? Anyways, make sure you put this on before you do the water pump. You could probably, if you haven't put your valve cover on yet, you could probably sneak it on, but, well, no. You got to put it on before you put the water pump on, and then make sure it's directed correctly, which I'm assuming would be something like that, which is for your water heater. So, I'm sorry, your heater core. It's for your heater core. So, anyways, make sure you put this on before you install the new water pump. And this one was also stuck on the old water pump. Just apply a little heat to it, and it'll come off. This is kind of a thinner metal, so I wouldn't try going too crazy on this guy. Something might twist and break, possibly. Or maybe it won't, but just a little heat and came right out. We're going to put some tape on there and then put it in. Ended up getting our alternator bolted up and all that, and one of the things you guys check for when you're putting your alternator together, there's this bolt that sticks out back here. Make sure that you're on the outer side of that, because if you try to put this alternator slotted in there on the other side, you'll have a hard time pushing that bottom bolt through. And then other than that, we got our intake and our manifold all buttoned up. That's sealed with the new gasket. And we'd already cleaned out our throttle body before. And now we're hooking up our power steering pump, and we're just kind of finding where the leftover bolts go. And then we're going to attach our hose and our blade and hopefully fire this thing up. So we're going to get at that. Alright guys, so if you obviously notice when you replace your water pump, it's got studs on there. It's not a bolt system. So to get those studs out, kind of an easy method here is just double nut. And some will be a little bit harder than others, but as far as dude, don't get weird on me, dude. All right, so you tighten it like that, and then go ahead and hold it, Brennan. And then that's all you do is you'll back them out, and there'll be 4 of them, and then you kind of pretty much do the same process putting them back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dude, you're like holding back a huge smile there. I mean, I know we're double nutting her, but come on, man. So, all right, we're going to get this done, get this in a new pump, and hopefully get our fan on and our belt. All right, what's up, everyone? So we are back with the YJ here, and we got it all buttoned up, and I'm just going to show you guys real quick what we did. So, just a recap. So we were having heating issues, so what we ended up doing is we put a fresh radiator in it. We had to replace a hose, brand new water pump, thermostat. We had our head actually reworked. We put some fresh valve springs in it, new gaskets. We ended up doing new plug wires, same cap and rotor. One of our heater core hoses were actually pinched. So we actually we did new ones of those, and we actually flushed the heater core itself, but we actually have a separate video on that. Other stuff, we just put like a fresh air filter in there and all that. So, oh, we cleaned the throttle body out. We did a lot of stuff to this thing, and had bad fuel in it, so we drained that all out, put some good stuff in it. We actually been driving it. We had to buy a 30-day temporary tag so we could kind of drive it and kind of, you know, she's been sitting for a while. But she sounds pretty good. We're gonna fire it up for you guys, show you how she runs. All right. Fires right up now. I mean, that's pretty good sounding for a 4-cylinder. That thing sounds pretty smooth. Now we still have an old oil leak over here that we're gonna have to hunt down and figure out what's going on. A lot of this dampness here you see is because our hose is actually spraying, but we do still have an oil leak on that side. Alright, so to actually pinpoint what our problem was, it's probably a little bit harder just because we replaced everything, but I would guess that it was probably just a stuck thermostat, or maybe it was our radiator that was clogged, or it was a couple different things. But we ended up just kind of replacing everything, you know, and now it just runs great. It cools perfectly. I mean, it cools really good. Like, I'm thinking like I might need to put something to block the front here for the winter time so it could help build heat a little bit better, because yeah, I don't know about her. She's definitely running cool, which is good. So what we're kind of working on tonight too, which will be in a separate video, is that we are actually draining our transmission, and we're going to be swapping it with 1030. Like I said, that's another video. If you guys want to check that out, I'll be posting that later. So other than that, I mean, that's what I got for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hit me up in the comments if you got any questions. We'll see you later.